Let me ask, as a man, and I find it really odd as a male, because I didn't grow up seeing this. It's odd to me to see black men begging for reparation and crying about systemic racism or blaming white people for their downfall. Normally, men overcome situations and the women and children follow. But the black men are acting just like the black women, and they're acting like the white man is smarter than them, that the white man can do better than them. So by complaining and blaming, you're hurting yourself rather than coming together as an American people.
I'm going to stop you right now.
Put forward that effort. It's not attractive to see men complain like that.
I'm going to do this one more time for you, and if you don't get this, we can end this interview. You're not listening. You keep saying the same thing over again, and I don't go in circles.
Do you feel normal? Does it feel right to be complaining?
No one's blaming.
You complain about systemic racism and you want reparations.
We're not begging for reparations.
You do want reparations.
What the steps are to get reparations. The steps to get reparations, and I've taught on this, you can't pay reparations to a color. You can only pay reparations to a country. I've already taught on this, that black people in this country need to stop asking for something that can't be paid to them in their current state. I've taught on this. I've told them that once you decide to declare yourself a sovereign, liberated country, then you can petition for reparations. So I'm not begging. We haven't begged for a damn thing because we haven't even taken the first step to put us in a position for black people to get reparations. So no one's begging. Additionally, there's been no downfall here. You've seen the NFAC. We're fully equipped. We're well dressed.
That's what throws me off. If you guys can dress up like that.
Veterans of this country, we are all people.
We're
not the people in the streets that you're talking about. We're the actual responsible homeowners, gun owners, and voters that got together under the Constitution and formed a militia to address what we saw happening to our communities.
So
we're not complaining. We're not asking for anything. The people you're talking about are the people you see protesting in the streets right now. We don't protest. The people you're talking about are the ones out destroying, like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. We don't do that. The ones you're talking about are the ones who are running up on politicians, but who never vote. You're not talking about us. We're the other side. I'm just like you, my friend. I'm almost 60 years old. I'm not a child at this, and I've been around this world for quite a few times.
But what you're missing, hold on.
We're not asking, we're not begging. We're actually taking the steps under the law that we can to move ourselves into a position to get the things that we can get for ourselves, even if it means going somewhere else to establish our own ethno-nation, not here in the United States, but somewhere else where we've had a conversation with two countries willing to grant us sovereign land to grow our own country. That's our mission. Our mission is not to ask the white man for anything.
If you can't do it here, you won't be able to do it anywhere. Because there's no other country that's greater than America. But what I just want to say, when you're crying systemic racism and this and that and the white man this, you're feeding, you're deceiving the people rather than helping them. But what I want to ask you. You guys are complaining about George Floyd and these black people who are getting killed or hurt by cops. You're not encouraging these people when the cops stop you. Follow the instructions. Don't run. Don't attack the cops. These people are putting their own lives on the line. But I never hear you people say that. You guys blame the cops.
First of all,
but you don't
I'm going to say
blame.
this one last time. I don't know who your producers are, but if you call me you people one more time, you and I are going to have this conversation in person. I'm not you people.
No, what I mean is why
I
you
don't
got
want to hear that anymore, Jesse. That is a racial microaggression. I don't play that, bro.
The NFAC.
I don't play that, bro. No. The conversation just went south.
But what I'm trying to find,
like them.
If you want, let's say you want to help me, you want to encourage me, right?
Sit there and lie.
Let me just finish that.
Man, don't sit here and lie to another black man. Don't do that.
I know, but let me ask.
You said, don't put words in our mouth. I never said any of those things you said, and we do go out and encourage those things. I'm actually lined up with you right now. Everything you're saying, we've actually done. But for you to sit here and say it as if it doesn't exist, you insult me and you insult my organization.
So have you said out loud that George Floyd was a thug, he was a criminal, he was high, he was on drugs, and the reason that it appears that the reason he died, not because of the hold on, you're interrupting. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I haven't asked the question yet.
George Floyd.
You're speaking over me. Hold on. Instead of saying to black people, hey, don't get high, Don't commit crime. When the cops stop you, let George Floyd be an example of what not to be. That's not what decent people do. Have you encouraged blacks in that way?
We've actually encouraged people to learn the law as we work inside of the law, which is what we do. Everything we do is within the context of the law. We've encouraged people to use us as an example. I've given long, lengthy speeches on your constitutional rights, your Miranda rights. I've never sat and talked about the character of any one of the victims of police brutality. The same way I don't sit down and talk about the character of the police officers. I don't get into the personages. I get into the institution. I get into the practices and the institution that exists in the culture that leads to both these people, particular people acting the way they do. The police culture, and as you so eloquently said, those people who are either, I don't want to say illiterate, but who may be ignorant to the law themselves and not know how to respond when they're placed into those systems. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I've encouraged that both ways, but it is not my job, nor is it is our position to sit and begin to classify or begin to deify one of these particular people. We don't dig into the weeds. We're not messy like that. We look at the incident itself and the circumstances that created it and the laws that allowed it to happen and what we can do to encourage people on both ends so that you need to educate yourself and you need to modify your practices. We're in the middle.
Let me ask, if black people got married and fathers and mothers set example for their children, love what's right with all their heart, soul, and might, work hard, taught their kids to work, invest in land, and be responsible, and treat all people the same, would black people be in the mess that they're in today?
The mess that black people are in today is the result of 246 years
of
enslavement.
I ask you, if they did that, would they be in that mess?
I'm going to answer your question, but I'm prepositioning as I speak. Since you said, would they be in the mess that they're in? The mess that they're in today is because of, yes, what you just said, there are no more blueprints. You did a great job. I like the way you said that. There's also been, as I said before, deterioration of what we used to have, which was unity. We were more unified when we came out of the civil rights movement. We were more unified when we came out of slavery because we were all we had. We were more unified. Then the unity has been destroyed. So yes, I believe that if people saw the blueprints, just as you said before, if they saw what a black man and a black woman union actually looked like, if they saw that the fruits of getting an education and, getting a good job and being a responsible citizen and being knowledgeable about politics and things of that nature, then yes, then they could begin to pull themselves out. But the problem is they can't pull themselves out internally because people don't want to acknowledge the external conditions, that the bubble that's been built around them by the society that they live in.
It's not true. See, that's where I disagree with you. There is no wall there. It's an illusion. And the angry black people think that there's a wall. There is no wall. When
you say angry black people.
Yeah, when you're angry, when you're angry, when you're angry, there seems to be a wall there, but it's not. And it's abnormal for men to be angry.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me finish this and then I'll let you ask a question. Let me just say this first. I disagree with you that black people. I know, but let me say it. I'll let you answer the question.
Let me ask you a question.
I know, but let me say this.
Don't be afraid of my question, Jesse.
I'm not. I'll let you ask. But you said one thing that's not true. Black people were more united before.
I went from being a presidential candidate to leading what some people think is a black revolutionary organization.
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
How do you think someone who aspired to the office of the presidency went from that particular mentality to being the head of what many consider now to be a black revolutionary organization?
I don't know. How did that happen? I have no idea. I wonder. How did that happen?
I'm asking you that question.
I don't know how to happen. I'm surprised that I don't know what happened.
Well, the very first thing the reason I asked you that is because you keep talking about this angry group. And there is no angry.
Well, not just your group. I'm talking about most black people in general, not just your group.
Characterize this for your audience as if we're angry.
No, not just your group.
There's no one here that's angry. We're exercising our constitutional rights.
But I'm not just talking about your group. I'm talking about most, not all, but most black people in general are angry.
About my organization. The NFAC is not a bunch of angry people.
I said most, not all, man. I'm not talking about just
none
your
of
group.
us. See, I don't tolerate that either. If anyone has a personal issue, if anyone has an axe to grind, if anyone is angry, as you said, they can't be a part of this organization. You won't make it through our vetting process. So we're not an angry group.